And we're back for another Fireside Chat podcast with your host, Jeff Captain Caveman Dens, and your other host, Forrest Dens. How you doing today, sir?
Good.
Second day back at school, how was it?
Okay. I messed up the testing days.
So how did you mess up the testing days?
Well, actually, I have a reason. So, I was in school in my math class. The math teacher had put up the homework for her class, and she put the state testing homework on a Tuesday, which is bring number 2 pencils. So I was like, I thought the state tests were on Tuesdays because
Right.
I wasn't thinking. But homework for Tuesday would be due on Wednesday, right? So the tests were actually Wednesday and Thursday, and not Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, so you made me go stop and get candy this morning and some chocolate for no reason.
That was yesterday night, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. No, it wasn't last Thursday night. It was in the morning
No,
because we stopped at the gas station to do it. On the way to school, I thought. On the way to Lala's, not school.
I don't think so. I thought I had it during the night, and I packed it up.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't remember. But I thought it was in the morning. Because I usually won't stop at that gas station.
Mm-hmm. The Noco.
Yeah, the Noco there. So what else is going on?
Not much.
Richie Incognito retired today. Did you see that?
Yeah.
How's that make you feel about the Bills?
So from a strategical standpoint and a winning standpoint, makes me really sad because now we've got a hole at receiver and we've got a hole on the offensive line, a really big hole that
Well, we
need to
lost
fill.
Eric Wood, and we let go of the other lineman, too. So we're down 3 linemen, really.
Ryan Groy,
No, I forgot.
Cody Glenn,
Cordy Glenn, right?
did we?
Yeah,
Oh.
because we didn't keep him because he cost too much.
But we have Deion Dawkins, who might end up doing well, even though he has a bunch of holding calls. Ryan Gray might be a decent center. But that's really all you can salvage. Maybe John Miller or one of the guards. We have a lot of young offensive linemen, but not a lot of them ended up how we wanted them to be.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a rough year for the Bills, I think. No quarterback, no line.
Well, it was actually interesting. I heard somebody say we could keep our 22nd and go take somebody else at 12. So I think that we can go for a really good receiver at 12 and then at 22 go for a decent quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's going on with that. I don't know. The draft is unpredictable. We don't know what they're going to do. Everything's crazy about that. So let's get back into real life. Let's talk about organization a little bit. We need to find some way to keep you a little bit more organized.
Yeah.
What do you think we can do?
I could just try harder because I know I have the ability to be organized. Like, it's just that I don't try to.
Well, you definitely need to try to, but we've been trying for a couple years now, and we still haven't really achieved any of the results that we really need to do. So if we're failing to achieve what we need to do with what we're doing, we need to change what we're doing somehow.
Yeah.
So what do you think that we can change that will help you be a little bit more organized, a little bit better prepared?
Maybe my mindset.
How would we change your mindset? What would we do?
Maybe just have me think about what maybe just have me thinking more about being organized and what and how it can help me, and that not to be so lackadaisy about everything, about the stuff that I have and my belongings.
Right. Well, you say that and you think that, but then there's a disconnect between thoughts and action. So we need to eliminate that disconnect somehow.
Yeah.
So what do you think we can do? Maybe we can help you clean your room and keep it organized, but that's not going to help you with like testing, and it's not going to help you with leaving a clarinet at school, not knowing where it is, not going to help us with homework where we put stuff down. So maybe we need to find an area. What I try and do, which I'm not the best at myself, is put my stuff in the same general area every day.
Yeah.
So even if I don't know exactly where it is, I know it's
You have
somewhere
an
in the
idea.
kitchen by where I put it down when I come in. I used to have that bowl that I used to throw everything in, but now it's totally filled with crap. So I'm going to re-empty that bowl so I can just throw my stuff in there again. And then, like all my car keys and my wallet and my stuff can be right in there. So I don't have to look for it every day,
Yeah.
And then when you keep the clutter down, it's easy to have a place where you can put your stuff. So if we can clean up an area in your room, we're going to clean up your whole room, but if we can clean up an area in your room and we can put that stuff in an area where you know it
Like around
every
my
day.
desk?
Yeah, like around your desk, and you can put your clarinet there every day when you come home. So that means you're going to have to remember to bring it home from school.
Yeah.
Which you need to be better with because it's an expensive piece of equipment,
Yeah.
That's something you need to be able to do. Not leave stuff on the bus, which is, I understand it's easy to forget that stuff, but we need to not forget it.
Yeah.
Right? And just have a spot where you put it all.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you throw your school bag down behind the kitchen table and your clarinet there, even if it's your spot, then make it your spot,
Yeah.
And then it'll help us in the morning, especially with the homework stuff,
Mm-hmm.
If you knew that you put your homework down in the same spot every day and we put the water down on top of it, you'd know to move the water to look, right?
Yeah.
So that's just some stuff I was thinking about that maybe we could do to help you. As far as school and homework, man, you might need to take a note every day and have like a little notebook thing.
What I saw somebody do is like what I've seen two people do is they put a note on either their desk or like their cubby that tells them what to remember to bring home or what to remember to bring to school. So that could be something that I do.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really good idea, to tell you the truth. I put notes on my phone. I know you don't have a phone, but you can use a notebook. Most of the time I forget to look at them, but I have them in my phone.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see me just stop and I'll type stuff in my phone. And usually I just text it to myself. So then, like, if I forget to look at my text, it doesn't help. But usually my text is right at the top, so I can go back and I can look and see what I need.
How do you text yourself?
I just text it to my own number, and then it just texts to me.
That's weird. That's kind of like...
Well, there's a notebook thing in here, but I don't really know how to use it, and I always erase it all the time when I go to hit enter to enter it. So I got frustrated with it because it's really easy to mess up everything I wrote in there. So I don't like to use it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just do. Yeah, I just text it to myself. It's easier for me to get it. I don't know. Got anything else you wanted to talk about?
I did want to talk about your interest, how you got interested in podcasting and talking about fighting more, and talking about fighting like after, or what your plan is after you're done fighting.
That's like 3 different questions. Is that what you're asking me, or was that one question that you just reframed?
Kind of. Yeah, I put it in 2 different situations. Like, how did you get into it, and is that your plan for the future?
Well, I definitely plan on continuing to do podcasts for as long as I can. As long as at least one person's listening, I'll keep podcasting. We got Eddie Cunningham. He listens to like everything I do. So as long as I got one big fan, I can definitely keep it up. A lot of people actually like the podcast. I got into podcasting because I like commentary so much. I love to do fight commentary because I love fighting. I love talking about fighting. So Don Lilly gave me a big chance with TNT, and I was able to call fights of people I knew. So it was really simple for me to call these fights, and I had a huge breakthrough and a huge opportunity to work with Kyle Rosewski, who helped me with my commentary. He just gave me a lot of good ideas on how to talk and how to speak into the microphone and just all the background on it,
Like some of the stuff that you're talking to me about whenever I come on, just trying to give me a brief explanation.
Some of it, but more about how to organize your thoughts while you're talking about the fights and breaking down the movements of the fights and when to talk and when to pause and just kind of stuff like that. It was real eye-opening, I learned a lot. But, I was really into it because I listened to commentary a lot. And I always liked Jesse Ventura in the WWE, how he was like the bad guy commentator, and I kind of wanted to be like that, I love Jesse Ventura. I love John Madden. I love like just these really enthusiastic commentators. I really like them. Boss Root and Joe Rogan now. Those are just all guys I like trying to emulate a little bit. Mm-hmm. But you got to be your own self and have your own style too.
And then you kind of have a sense of when things are going to happen. Yeah. Or how something is going to happen.
Right. Yeah. That's just from having so many fights and understanding the game. Yeah. You know that. You've seen it. You watched me break down UFC fights when we were calling the fights, right?
Wasn't there a post where I was doing something and UFC was on, and you said something and it happened like half a second after?
Yeah, I was called a double leg takedown. I was like, oh, he's open for the takedown. He's going to get it and finish it. And then Joe Rogan said the exact same words that I said right after I said them, right as it was happening.
Yeah.
And there's a video of that on Facebook somewhere on my page, and Mom was laughing, and some of the people commented on it, and it was pretty cool. But I just see stuff, man. I can see fights when I'm watching them. Sometimes it's easier to see the fights than it is a fight because like that third person view, it really makes it easy to see what's going on.
I was also hoping I could try and expand this question to how did you get into like blogging and other stuff besides podcasting?
Well, I always liked to write. So blogging was really natural for me. I have a lot of opinions I like to express, and I definitely have a unique view on life that not too many people have. So I like to write about what I think and what I feel, and hopefully I can help a couple people, or at least try and explain what I'm doing in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I type it out, it's really easy for me. I express myself very well written. I've always had a harder time expressing myself verbally, and I used to be really shy around people. Although maybe you wouldn't notice that by how I am nowadays, but I hated talking in front of people. I didn't like to talk to people. I was really pretty quiet. I didn't really talk a lot. So
now you're doing this and commentating.
Yeah, and then the most nerve-wracking thing I ever did was starting to interview the fighters after the fight, because commentating, no one's really watching you. You know,
No.
you're just sitting there and you're talking. It's really easy. To be honest, there's no pressure on you. I mean, even when they're trucks talking in your ears, it doesn't really matter because they're not really yelling at you. They're just like, "Go cameras 3, camera 2," you know. So you hear all that, but it's not like that big of a deal. And then like interviewing the fighters was a little bit different because you have to have them facing the right way. You have to make sure they don't swear, take out their mouthpiece, make sure they're posing for pictures. There's a lot of stuff to do. You have to lead the conversation a little bit so they try and talk about the right fight organization, because in the amateurs, when you talk about their plans, they always want to talk about other stuff. So you have to know when to cut them off and when to let them talk, and it's very it's different.
Sounds difficult.
There's a lot going on, even though it looks super simple.
Yeah, like the way you interview people, it sounds like you're having fun, and there's not a lot that you're really thinking about.
Well, I definitely have a lot of fun interviewing people. I love to stick it to the fighters after they win, especially the guys I know. Give them a little jab. You know, the crowd loves it. Everyone laughs. At the amateur level, it's not that big of a deal. Some of the professionals, I wouldn't do that to. Some of the higher level amateurs, I don't do it to. It just depends on how the fight goes. If it was an easy fight, I try and make them laugh. If it was a tough fight, I give them a lot of credit. I always try and credit the other person at least a little bit, unless they really were awful, like Joey Morrison or, you know, sometimes, most of the time, John Gearhart, you know. But other than that, when they fight, it was really fun. I just got to make fun of both of them in that interview. But the first couple interviews, dude, I suck bad. I really, really suck. But I think I got it down pretty good now. I think I'm a pretty good post-fight interviewer. Because I can take a lot out of what happened in the fight and interview them about it. So it's super simple.
And you can kind of joke around easy enough where, like, you can get the whole, like, you can kind of just change the mood almost.
Yeah, because I can kick all their asses, so they better be scared of me. When I get a little bit older, I might have to be more careful what I say. Or when I get to higher levels and I'm interviewing, like, I don't know, some badass dude like Conor McGregor or Khabib. If I had to interview...
Did he win?
Yeah, he won. He won the title. I'd be scared to interview Khabib. He might take me down and lay on me for 25 minutes. Beat me up.
He's a 155er, though, right?
Yeah, he's 155. He's huge, though. And what was the last... Oh, how did I get into this? You know, I fell into a great situation with Fanduzzi. I started out with Chris Swoboda. He set up the studio at Fanduzzi Studios. It was a great while it lasted. He paid for the whole studio. We were in there, man. We had great microphones, great setup, great location. We were at the UB campus. Man, it was so great. Hopefully someday I get good enough at this that we can have an area like that again and have guests in there and really be impressive. We had like a great studio, right?
Yeah, I kind of miss Baird Hall. It was a little creepy getting up into there. I have to admit, but it was pretty cool once we were in the studio, and it I drew a lot in there for homework, and it was just fun to hang out there, even if I wasn't on the podcast.
We had a lot of great podcasts from that studio, man. It was really good.
Having a lot of great ones now, though, too.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. We wouldn't have been able to do this now if everything would have been set up.
Yeah.
Because there's no way we'd have time to drive back and forth
No.
all the way there every day. We probably would have done 2. I probably would have tried to shoot do 5 of them at one time. It would have been awful by the 5th one.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to have this studio here, though. To be honest with you, I really like it.
And once you switch your the soundboard that you currently own to one of the caliber that we're renting, sort of.
Yeah.
Then and we can expand the space. It's really gonna be a good setup, and I think that it's kind of gonna be a home studio.
Yeah, after we get these taxes done, we're gonna work on getting a bigger, better bench and some sponsors, and I can't fight for too much longer. So once this fighting thing is done, I'm gonna go get my black belt in jiu-jitsu when I'm done fighting, and really work on this podcast stuff. And that's about all I got. Unless you got anything else, man.
That'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be a pretty cool black belt podcast.
Yeah, hang out. I can get a tattoo too when I get my black belt. Just so you know.
White. You're gonna go. It's gonna be of white to black, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get all the belts tattooed on my
white, blue, purple,
ribs,
brown.
I think, or side somewhere. I'm not sure where yet.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll ask Professor Dubs what he thinks. He's got lots of tattoos too. So I'm gonna get white, green, blue, purple, brown, and black.
You had to get green, right?
Yeah, I went through green belt with Professor Chuck.
That's after you get 4 stripes on your green belt, isn't that 2 on your blue?
No.
Oh.
They don't really use stripes. I never really got stripes at Chuck's place, Professor Chuck's place.
You just got belts.
I went from white to blue, or white to green. I mean, I didn't have any tips on my green. I went from green to blue. I don't think I got any tips on my blue belt. And I went from blue. I can't actually look at my blue belt. There's no tips on it. So I went from blue to purple. Then I got 2 tips from Professor Dub. And I went from purple to brown.
Purple with 2 stripes to brown.
Right. Because I was a purple belt for 6 years, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe longer, actually. And then I got my brown. I got 4 tips on my brown now. So
at the current time of this year, and by my birthday, you would have been a purple belt for exactly half of my life.
well, I'll be a brown belt. I've been a brown belt for more than I think 2 years now. I don't know. I forgot when I got it, to be honest with you. It was such a shock when I got it. I wasn't expecting it. I honestly don't remember the date. It was a belt testing day, and Nishan whipped me in the eye, so it's about 2 years ago, because he was new then. Everyone kept calling him Tushan, and no one really knew his name yet, so it was before he really got really impressive with his great skills. He's a very skillful competitor.
Him and Beckham are 2 people that have come in there and just kind of figured stuff out and look like they've done something before.
Yeah, Beckham went to MMA Lab and smashed everybody, even the yellow belts.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we had another brown belt with 4 tips. Paige came in today. She was pretty good too, from WNY Williamsville.
Oh.
Yeah.
Formerly Pursue,
yeah. All right, it's late. You need a PFB. What is that again?
Use the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Floss, brush, and the mouthwash, but we don't put the M.
PFBM sounds like some kind of weird sex thing. Don't do that. Stay away from sex. Marry your girl. Sex her up. Make babies. Make me a proud grandpa. But not till I'm 80. I love you, man.
Love you too.
Thank you for doing this with me. 10 more. 10 more of these, I think. Mom's
I have a good topic for next time.
What's that? You don't have to tell me, but remember, maybe write it down because you forgot today's topic.
Yeah.
See, the organization again. It always comes back to this. We got to take care of it, okay?
Yep.
All right. That's a goal for today. Get more organized. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And with that, Jeff Dens is out of here.